Okay, happy Monday, everyone. Yeah, no Zinc today. André and I are live. It's Mondays and Fridays. Zinc is normally on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. But yeah, happy Monday, everyone. So we got markets moving higher overnight. DAX recovering, NQ and ES now trading off of previous days' lows. Yeah, what's up, boss? Morning, everyone. Yeah, we'll wait. André should be in the chat in a bit, but yeah, we have a few interesting points to discuss this morning. Obviously, the VIX is trading lower. We can see down 4%. All of the Mag 7 stocks up as well. Meta up 3%. NVDA and Tesla also up 1.4%. So that will be obviously quite crucial heading into the open. I do like the longs, at least on ES and NQ, back up towards those highs. 737 on ES, and NQ would be back up at 800, 24,800. So that's my levels that I'm watching. But yeah, how's everyone doing this morning? How's everyone doing this morning? Yeah, André should be on in a bit. And then just a heads up, as always, I do speak about this quite often, but the volume and range by weekday. Okay, normally, especially in the last 6 months, ES and NQ pick up as the week continues. So don't come into the week trying to just be aggressive. Wait for the opportunities and pick your spots. Also, we can see if we go green and red days by weekday. That's something that always we like to speak to everyone about. Mondays are always quite bullish days. Are you rolling over to June contracts? Remember, I'm trading the CFDs, Bobby. So I'm trading the indexes as CFD contracts. So you have to ask André that if he's rolling over yet. But personally, that the CFDs are so much easier like that. I don't have to worry about the different contracts. But you'll ask André when he comes on if he's going to be rolling over yet. Cool. So again, that's my 100%. Wait for André to come on. He'll speak about those contracts, and he's rolling over to the June contracts over from the March. Okay. So as I said, comes André now. Monday is pretty bullish days, as well as we do have a target to reach. Morning, brother. Happy Monday. Mercedes.
Dude, I'm not thrilled about it, but
how are you doing this morning, bro?
Good. I think that the FIA should tell Mercedes to tune down their engine because
they're looking power, bro. Jeez.
Yeah, they've got some pretty wild. They're the only ones that are able to like test the engine at a different temperature or whatever that loophole was that they have, but. They said in June they're going to change it, but I don't really know if it'll matter by then.
Sure. No, I was just going over the it looks pretty bullish this morning, bro. We got Meta, your favorite, up 3%, and then NVIDIA and Tesla also up like 1.5%. What's Bitcoin doing? I actually didn't have a look at. Bitcoin's up at 74K.
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah, I haven't really looked at it because
Bitcoin breaking
so horrendous.
I was just having a look at it. I think it needs to break 74K quite significantly to get back up in the 80s, personally. But it's my own thoughts. But yeah, we're looking bullish on the indexes for sure to start the week. And Monday has obviously also been quite a bullish day as well in the last 6 months at least.
Yeah, I'm not expecting. I'll just pull up my screen quick.
Yeah.
Where am I? Can you hear me okay? Is the recording on? Do we have all the checks and balances today?
I'm not making that mistake again.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, it's all good.
Oh, are you rolling over to the June contracts yet? Okay.
Yeah, so that's,
So the way that we roll the contracts is it is not on the same day as TradingView, to be clear. It is when the next forward contract has more daily volume than the current contract. Then we roll. So that's the way that works. If the next contract does not have more volume yet, we are using the current contract. When the following contract has more volume on the daily time frame, that is when we roll. So that is the way that we do it. Bobby, you can always ask our support on when we roll. We should be giving you the answer then. We actually don't know the exact date of when we're going to roll because we don't know when the volume is going to be higher on the next contract. But that's the way that we do it. So
So it's different for each and every single cycle, essentially.
Yeah. Every single contract is going to be different because we always want to go with the highest volume contract on the daily time frame. That's the way that it works. So
sure.
It's going to be different for ES, for NQ, for whatever, silver, for whatever it is, for oil. It's always going to be, I mean, obviously there's going to be a point where like we never use expired contracts, obviously, or anything that's like on the day of expiration because the following contract always has more volume anyway. But TradingView does it a little bit of an arbitrary way, or I'm not sure exactly the way that they do it, but it's not volume. I don't think that they do it volume based. They just do it like a few days before the expiration. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
See what other questions had in the chat. Yeah. No Zinc, guys. André and I live Mondays and Fridays. Zinc's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah. Okay. Glad you got that set up. I like the longs, bro. Personally, backup on ES would be back up to 730, 740, call it. Which is
Can you look at this question? It says, quick question about the IB by rejection report. Is the range formed for that at 1900 or after the 1900? So if you're looking at the Globex IB, I'm just going to do this quick. I'll make this bigger in just a second. So the way this works, okay. So here, and I'll just go to a 5 minute so it looks a little bit more clear. So the way this works is that it starts at 6 p.m. or 1800 Eastern time. Well, that's when the Globex opens. But 1600 Sunday night, then it ends at 1855. So something that people don't think about is that the last candle of the IB is at 1855, not at 19, because the 1855 candle on a 5 minute chart closes at 19. And then the following candle, the 19 candle. So when you look at any trading platform, the time that appears on the bottom here is always the start time of the candle. So when you are looking for the first hour, you don't want to include the 1030 candle if you're using the regular IB. You want to include the 1025 candle on the 5 minute chart. If you're on a 1 minute chart, that's the 1029 candle, because the 1029 candle on 1 minute chart closes at 1030. Same thing applies here. If you're on a 15 minute chart, the last candle is the 1845 candle, and then anything after that is where it starts, where the break possibility starts. So the easiest way to check this, or the easiest way to do this, is to go to the IB indicator that we have, set the IB time from 18 to 19. That's the first hour of the Globex session. The indicator will automatically use the correct candles, and then set the session time to 18 to 9:30, and then it'll do it for you. So just so we're clear, this is how you're going to do it. If you want to use the Globex IB, this is how you're going to do it. 18 to 19, and then 18 to 9:30. That's how you're going to do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we've got the open here in the minute's time, 30 seconds now.
Yeah, I'm definitely not expecting a gap fill today. Just opening up edgeful quick.
Yeah. Yeah, Mondays, as I was going over the volume and range by weekday, you normally just want to ease into the week. It's actually funny. I'll make a post about it today, but my best days are Thursday and Friday this year, and that's when the most volume is actually traded as well.
Yep. So guys, if you look at ES, and you look at the green and red day by weekday report, 72% of all the Mondays in the last 6 months have been green. This I actually didn't know about. 75% of all Thursdays have been red. That's very interesting. So we did get the market open here. I am expecting a bullish day for sure. Obviously, that doesn't mean that you're just going to close your eyes and buy. So as much as sometimes it feels like you should never do that. But yeah, we do have the open here. We'll have the what's in play load in just a second. But yeah, let's see. The midnight open here is 0.5% away on NQ, 0.37 on ES. I'm actually going to add a dashboard to the ultimate reversal setup indicator, so you don't have to measure the sizes or how far away price is from the highs or lows. So
yeah, nice. Yeah, so I like those longs to Friday's highs, but obviously we'd have to get. I think we could get a pullback before we see that, Andre. You helped me with the shorts on Friday, bro. I managed to get out in time.
We're trying here.
Yeah.
Also, we released a new landing page, and I would love to know what you guys think about it. So for anyone I'll just make this a little bit bigger here. James, I'm curious what your thoughts are on this.
I like it, bro. I saw it on the weekend, and I was like, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, so I'll make it actually a little bit bigger here. So there's a few things. If you actually click on these, it's pretty cool. Like, it actually changes. Not that it's super important, but if you click on these, it'll change. I just want to show you guys how this works. So we have obviously the hero section. We have each of the main feature highlights. Again, these are interactive. They're obviously the data is made up, but just interactive. Like these little things that we put a lot of time and effort into just to give it that extra premium feel. Because let me tell you something, that this is not some AI Claude landing page that we built. Like, this is all from scratch. Like, everything that we did was extremely thought out. Like, this is like, you can't be like, hey, Claude, make me a landing page, and then this is what comes out of it. But we have the reports, we have edgeful AI, we have the what's in play, the screener. This is not really interactive here. We actually have a pretty cool product. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys watching have an edgeful sub, but we do have pretty cool interactive demos now. So you can really click into the app and understand how it moves, how it works in here. Then we have the historical data section. So we did actually add some color, which is new for us, but we did add some color to this landing page. So we have the blue section, which is the historical data. Again, you can interact here. This is edgeful AI, again, historical data. Then we have the live data side, which is green. So we have the what's in play, we have the screener, we have the indicators. We have in the teal color, the edgeful algos, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have here as well. But again, little things making these interactive. These are all interactive for the most part. And going down, we have free resources. If you guys are not on the Stay Sharp email list, please make sure to get on it. It is completely free. We send strategies and breakdowns every Saturday. The feedback on it is amazing. So I would highly recommend. Go to edgeful.com, scroll down, and put your email in here. We send out free stuff all the time. I see a question here. How long does it take to get a response for the custom indicator? Just send it to our support and just ask the questions in there. It depends, honestly, on what type of request it is. We do get a lot of requests to build indicators. So one thing, part of the edgeful plan is to build indicators, and I'm just going to pull back up my charts here for a second while I explain this, but part of the edgeful plan is to build custom indicators. trading view indicator specifically. And let's just zoom in here a little bit. Trading view indicator specifically. Now, some people don't really know what they want. Now, I know that that's a little bit hard to believe.
To explain, yeah.
But we get questions like, can you build an indicator that plots supply and demand? Okay. How are you defining supply and demand? Well, I don't know. Usually there is this zone here. Here's one good example of like a zone of supply, a zone of demand. All right. So like, what did you use to define that? Well, I don't know. It just kind of looks like it. Well, then we can't do that, obviously.
It has to be objective, basically, is what you say.
Yeah, like we have to be able to build it. Like we're not expecting you guys to be the quant behind it, but like if you can explain what you want, that's very important, obviously. Like we're not going to be able to do it if you can't explain what you want. So there's a question here. So we do take custom indicator requests, but it's the clearer you are with your initial request, the easier it is for us to do it because it requires a lot less back and forth. And one thing is you always have to include screenshots. And the only reason that we don't make it mandatory on the request is because we physically cannot with the software that we use for support. Otherwise, I would make at least 3 screenshots mandatory. But yeah, add whatever you want. If you've already made the request, add whatever you want. Obviously, explain it, but yeah. Then we have a new pricing. I mean, the pricing is the same, but we have a new pricing section. And that's pretty much it for the landing page here. Then we have individual feature pages over here. So you can learn more specifically, like we built all individual feature pages. So like the reports have their own feature page now. So you can understand like really what they're doing or like what the edgeful reports are. My favorite one is the algo one. So I thought this was pretty cool, honestly, the way that this looks.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, so
looking good.
Yeah, dude, we put a lot of time into it actually. So we felt like these animations actually would make it a little bit more interactive and like enjoyable to scroll. And I'm curious what you guys think about it, like so far as I have this up. But the algos are for 2 types of people. Like we're trying to explain like who it's for. So if you're the one who gets in your own way, the algos are for you. Or if you can't sit at the screens all day, the algos are also for you. So there's really 2 types of people that they're for. As you go down, you can see that there's more things in here, whatever else. Some of these are interactive, some of them are not. But I'd love to know what you guys think about the landing page. You can roast it if you want, but I'd love to hear about it. So there's that.
Yeah, we just we haven't really done much at the open here. Fix is trading lower though, and Bitcoin's reaching above 74K right now. Zing says, "Don't speak about it." It.
Yeah, Zing's heavy into MSTR, which is hilarious.
Options or actual physical stock?
No, I think stock, or I hope stock.
I hope, yeah, sure. Yeah, how's everyone doing though this morning? I'm okay with being a little bit more patient here, Andre.
Yeah,
this morning, my side.
So what I'm seeing, ES inside bars, just in general, which is actually kind of crazy. That inside bar stat, not even by weekday, 88%. So what that means is we're targeting either this red line or this red line. And yeah, it's, how far is that from where price is right now? 34 points for the day, not a crazy move. It would not be that crazy. I would not be surprised if price makes it all the way up here. But yeah, it's 80 on the what's in play here. We have 88% for the inside bars, and then we have ICT by size. So we have the ICT by size on ES. To be honest, I'm not super confident about this ICT by size, but we'll have to see. Like, I don't want to RTH to RTH. So the best way, yeah, it's the New York session. And the short answer is it's the New York session. So 9:30 to 4. The best way to understand how these sessions work is if you go to the Get Started page in the top left and you scroll down right over here, how to use sessions. This is going to explain exactly how the sessions work, also how changing the sessions are going to impact certain reports. So for example, if you use the London session and you have the IB report selected, you're going to be using the first hour of that session. And you're only going to be checking if the breaks happen from 3 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern time. So
getting a little bit of a pop here.
Yeah.
Sorry, Andre.
No, you're good. So yeah, we have a.
Why I'm getting a little bit of a pop above 47K. Nasdaq still inside the range. Normally, Andre and I wait for the first 15 minutes to set, and then we look to take trades from there. Right, I think it's and that's that 50-minute opening range, right? And then obviously after the first hour, or even sometimes after the first 30 minutes, you can get like use the edgeful screener, which I love to get like a bias for the day.
Yeah.
For those that are watching for the first time.
Yeah, so we have inside bars on ES and NQ. I'm not really leaning towards the shorts today with the ICT by size, although I'm not going to fight the data. I've gotten torched plenty of times trying to fight the data here. Yeah. So I'm not doing that. But green and red days by weekday, ES is obviously very long bias. Yeah, inside bars by weekday too is pretty strong. Inside bars by weekday here is pretty strong as well. The thing is, we can see that we have 8 reports that are filtered out. So this is something to keep in mind. Like gap fill by size on NQ is extremely low. So you don't want to be looking at that.
Yeah. NQ, still, everything will still be inside that 50-minute range. We got to wait for it to set up, right? And then go from there. Actually, looking back at my trade from Friday, I still like those longs, André. I think I should have gone a little bit earlier off that bounce of the lows. I think I was in just a little bit too late.
Yeah.
It was a good 50, 60 points to be had before it ended up rolling over.
Yeah, ES is meaningfully stronger than NQ right now.
Yeah. And YM as well. YM picking up at 2. What's up, Raz? Do you ever incorporate order flow into the orb? I personally don't. Some of the guys that I traded with do, but I've just never used order flow personally. You have used order flow?
Yeah, I actually used Bookmap probably 2 years ago.
Okay.
And I thought, what I think about Bookmap is when you see people use it, and there is this like perfect example of like price wicks into this like big red bar, green bubbles form, and then it just rips. Like that's such a perfect use case that I think you look for when you can see the order flow. Like I think those tools are very good, but also there is so much going on in those. Yeah. Like the bubbles, the orders, the levels, all of that stuff. Like there is so much going on when you look at those that I think that it over time will probably hurt you more than help you, because it's just so hard to determine, like, is this something I should trade off of or is this not? Like there's like a million things that are happening at once. Like it's the same thing that when people look at level 2 data, like I guess this is more like options traders, stock traders. But if you look at level 2 data, like the bid and ask, and then you're looking at the size and the bid and ask, like it's happening so fast that like there's no way that like you actually understand what's happening. Like there's just no way. Like you can claim that you do. There's like you can say that you can see this like spikes here and there, like whatever it is. Like maybe you can, maybe you can't. I'm not really sure, but wow, this is like crazy, this rip right now.
Yeah, geez, taking out. So the opening range is set in now.
In 30, yeah.
Let
me switch
30
to
seconds ago.
the indicator. Yep. Yeah, it created too much noise. Yeah, I agree. Like there's just way too much, in my opinion, that goes on when it relates to order flow. It could be good if you know how to use it properly. Like I do know that there are some great traders that use it really well, but I think that it's a very easy tool to overthink all of your trades with, and it's something that will get you out of trades too soon a lot of times, because if you're in a long and you start seeing these red bubbles appear, you're like, oh my god, sellers are stepping in, I gotta go, like I gotta close a trade, it's gonna reverse now. And in reality, like it's just normal selling volume. So
yeah,
I don't know.
For me,
yeah, the bubbles are counterintuitive also. So there's like a few ways to read it, which is another important thing. So if you see a lot of red bubbles but price isn't going down, that's actually bullish, because that means that there is a passive buyer absorbing all the sell orders. But like, when is the threshold of like bullish versus bearish? Like the more red bubbles you see, like that should theoretically be bearish. But then if price isn't actually falling, then it's like, okay, this is a signal for reversal. I don't know. It's a lot. Like it's a lot. So I'm not super interested in that, to be honest, for myself. But
jeez, we're picking up here. Wimes taken opening range high. Did you long before orb? No, I didn't. I like to wait until it sets. And if I do take a trade before orb sets, I'm very quick on my exits. Very rarely do I find like
here, I'm not gonna lie. Like if we can pull back to the orb high at this like 7-11 area, I would probably take a long here. But
yeah, I agree with that. Very rarely do I find like the first break of the orb is like the move for the whole day. You get like a quick pop, and then it normally retraces and gives you another entry.
Yeah, and something I like to do, which I mean, anyone who's watched the stream like for more than like one day has seen this page. What I like to do is see like where are the major market movers relative to their structure. And what I mean by that is you can see the black part is the RTH, like the market open. But like you can see that Meta is near the lows and Apple is at the highs of its session. I like to see that because it gives me an understanding of, okay, which stocks are going to either roll over or are pushing down, and how is that deviating from the trade that I'm looking for on ES or NQ or whatever else. But yeah, it's interesting for me to look at this while I'm trading ES or NQ. Like I will always switch back and forth between the two personally.
Julian's asking, are you trading the new contract? So André said until the new contracts got more volume than the March contract, that's when we'll switch over, right? Correct? The June contract. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So look at that. Look at that pin now on NQ, André.
Yeah, I'm considering taking a long. Is there news? Did something just happen?
No news right now. There's no forecasted news either. There was CAD news earlier. We can get financial juice up as well. Keep that there. You always have to have this up in this current market environment. But yeah, no breaking news at the moment.
I'm trying along at, this is high risk, but at 67.10, 75, targeting new high of day.
Yep. This is your type of trade, bro.
Yeah. I could get stopped out. This is high risk for sure. But stop at 705, or yeah, 705, targeting new high of day. I'm hoping that the orb holds here and price continues, but it might not happen. I'm up slightly right now, but I'll be down. Well, I'm break even right now, but. All right, I'm gonna get a coffee while this happens.
I'll walk the guys through what I like.
Yeah, I don't always say it's high risk. So I'm taking along it's high risk. I don't always say I have said it's high risk in the last two because the reason I said it's high risk is number one, I don't know if there was a catalyst. And I checked the news, there was no catalyst. So that's positive. The other reason I say it's high risk is because the move happened very quickly. So it might just completely blow through my stop. But like these types of moves where it happens really fast, that's important to, like, I like to capitalize on those. But yeah, that's why I said it's high risk, just so you know. When something happens fast like this, to me, if there is a catalyst, I probably would not have taken it, but I just looked and there was no news. So that's why I did that. But I'm going to get a coffee. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So let me get my screen up here while Andre gets his coffee. So NQ. So now we've taken the highs out. We're back at New York session VWAP. I do like the long, something back like there, but I'm just watching price action right now. Yes. We're also coming back down off those highs. So I'm just going to be a little bit more tentative here coming into the trading week. On average, how many trades do you take a day, James? I would say between 2 and 3, 1 to 3. Let's say that. It depends, obviously, in which market conditions, but between 1 and 3. Sorry, all good. I actually took a few long positions. Nice, good work on those longs. YM now as well, just pulling back a bit. So we're holding up at the New York session VWAP, which is the session open 9:30 open VWAP at the moment. Have you ever used volume profile? I personally have not, but I do. Again, I know a few guys that do use it. I like to just keep my trading as simple as possible. I use the edgeful data with orb and VWAP and my levels, previous days highs and lows, pre-market highs and lows, and I like to just keep it simple like that. But if it works for you, that's fantastic. I'm looking to try challenges, Contab, the same funding, FTMO between those two. So we're back inside the range on NQ, as mentioned. We'll see. This is a 5-minute time frame. Yeah. Oh, I like it. We're bouncing off of this New York session VWAP at the moment.
I actually am not liking this. Well. I'm actually leaning towards this.
I think we could get a deeper pullback.
Yeah, I actually think that these shorts look pretty nice. But
yeah, a tougher short for me to short that, but I do think we could maybe see a deeper pullback.
Yeah, I just don't want to. I don't like to flip flop, but I also it's kind of hard. Like, do you want to cut a losing trade early, or do you want to like stick to your initial plan? But I'm still in it. I'm John.
Yeah, and does FTMO have static drawdown? Yes, they got static drawdown. Yeah. What's your entry price, Andre?
710. It's this exact right here. 710.75.
Yeah.
67.10, obviously, on BS.
Don't let this be another Friday. James likes long, but Andre puts the jinx on. Yeah. Hey, you're not always going to be right. That's why I had to flip and get short quickly.
Yeah.
But Andre is long, so clearly does like the long as well, back up to the half day.
I always like the shorts, man. I'm always looking for a short. I'm not going to lie. I'm always looking for a short. Yeah, I'd like to see something happen like soon, because I'm not getting, the more that this sits at the orb high, the less confident I'm becoming in it. But I'm going to stick to this trade. If I take the loss, it's fine. I just want to, I'm still green right now, but I was in very little drawdown. But I would not be surprised if this just like crushes, right? Like flushes down right now, which is why I kind of want to flip, but I'm not going to, because
that, I mean,
I don't want to,
yeah.
I don't like
As
to
long as
flip
it
flop
holds
when
it-
I'm in a trade.
I think as long as it holds like this 680 level, you should, yeah, tear it. What's NVDA doing? Let's have a look. And NVDA coming back down a little bit, but still inside the range.
I mean, my stop is pretty tight right now. Looking at it, 5-point stop is pretty tight, but I don't really want to risk the midpoint of the orb.
But you're on ES, eh? So 5 ES.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still like, my entry was pretty good. That's at 67.10, but
yeah.
I'm saying right now, and this is why I said it's higher risk, because there's not as much structure to go off of. So usually, would you say that we're in a trade by now, James? Usually, like at this time in the day.
Yes, I would normally say by like 10 a.m. I'm normally in a trade. Yeah, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. is my best trading window this year so far, year to date. Yeah,
the most typical day, typically bullish day for NQ and ES. I love looking for shorts, Andre. Yeah. But I am long right now, and TP looks like it's about to be hit. I'm actually going to move my stop up now. I don't really want to let this. I'm going to move my stop to break even. My target is at new high of day at 67.19. We're real close, but we're about to get there. And we're about to get there on my TP. Watch this reverse now. Okay, I've moved my stop up to 6714. If it reverses, then I'm out for a 4-point gain instead of a 9-point gain, but I'm not letting this go back to break even.
Yeah, 617.
So I'm looking for 1950 is my TP right there.
Yeah, 719's coming.
There it is.
There we go. Nice.
All right. There's trade one. Done. Beautiful.
Yeah.
8, almost 9 points.
Yeah, that's nice.
Beautiful.
I've been learning a lot about trading psychology coming to these, and trade management. Really like that you guys do this for free. Yeah. Appreciate you guys joining.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, not good trade, Andre. That's solid. That's typical Andre trade.
This is like the most bread and butter of my trades that you can possibly get. There is a direction that we're looking for. The data is pointing very bullish today. And again, I do love taking shorts. I'll say that. But there's a direction that we're going for. In my opinion, it's long. The overall target for the day is going to be this red line right here. This is previous New York session high. Right over here and right over here. So what I'm looking for, so we have our orb set. This is the orb, the green and red lines right over here. This is our orb, a break of the orb. And I want to pull back to that orb, because if you're buying up here, in my experience, you're almost always going to get some sort of pullback. And you don't want to buy up here, because most of the time your stop is going to be at the orb high. So instead of doing that, you enter at the orb high. And if price kept continuing this way, for anyone who's been watching for a few, nice trade shirt guy. For anyone who's been watching these streams for a while, you know that if price just kept doing this, I would not have taken a trade. Now, I'm not going to say I don't get absolutely furious on these days, because I do, but a pullback like this, for me, I always want to take it. A little consolidation is not a big deal, but targeting new high of day, I'm overall expecting the price to break this high. And the reason I'm expecting it to break that high is right over here at the top of your what's in play up top.
Yeah.
So in your what's in play, you have the most popular ESNQ template on, and then you will get, let me close that up, at the top of the what's in play for today of all of the reports that set up on ES and NQ is the ES inside bars 88% break stat. So that is a lot of days have broken out. So 88% of all the days, 70 days have broken out. So, oh wow, what an exit.
Yeah, came right back down. But it is at half day as well, so you can expect a little bit of a pullback off the highs.
Yeah. So that 88% stat is targeting right over here, this red line. This red line, just for anyone who's new, is the previous New York session high. This is Friday's high. You want to expect price to touch this area here. So I hope that was helpful. Now I see a question. Why doesn't the orb algo take the pullback instead of the orb high? The orb algo actually waits for a candle close, and we actually are going to be building variations of the entry models. So you will be able to take a pullback, and it's something that we're working on now. We're actually going to release a very interesting tool for the algo plan that personally I think is going to absolutely change the way that anyone uses, optimizes, and understands their strategies. I will give you guys a little bit more information on that soon, but pretty much the way that it's going to work is you're going to take your download from the TradingView backtest, and you will no longer have to use Excel at all to optimize the algos. You literally just upload that exact file, and then you get all of the breakdown of all of the stats, even how likely that strategy is to pass a specific eval with a specific prop firm and an account size, based on 1,000 simulations of that exact strategy. Honestly, I think it's going to make your like all of your lives a lot easier. It's also going to give you the right expectation on if you're trading a good strategy, but it has a 50% pass rate. Now, if you take a loss or you blow an account, that's part of the process. Like you understand that before you start running the strategy. So that's something that we're building now. It'll actually be released soon, but that's a little bit of a teaser for you guys. But I'm really excited about it personally. But yeah, so. Also, for anyone who's using the orb algo, I would actually recommend check out the orb algo on ES, but a 5-minute orb and not a 15-minute orb. I highly recommend checking that out.
5-minute orb, man.
5-minute orb on ES. So you'd have to go to the settings and change it from 9:45 to 9:35. You actually have to type that in and check that out.
Oh, not 9:30 to 9:35.
That is, yeah, 9:30 to 9:35 on a 5-minute time frame.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Here, I'm going to pull up your screen one sec.
Yeah. So WIME's already reached the previous day's highs, which you can see over here is that this white dotted line coming across my screen. Now I'm watching NQ, and that was a great exit by André. NQ and ES as well. They've still got a little bit of a way to go up to previous day's highs. It's up at 810, call it. So a little bit more choppier morning right now. So don't get caught over trading. That's for sure. As I said, like volume and range by weekday, as we said, like the volume and range by weekday picks up as the week continues. So my data show me that Thursdays and Fridays are my best trading days, and that coincides with the data what's telling me. So you can also get up the edgeful screener that will be up in the next 30 minutes. Obviously, mainly leaning long bias at the moment. But NQ is having a little bit of a deep pullback right now. We have been chopping at this opening range high, that's for sure. ES as well. So ES also coming back down off its highs. What's NVDA doing? NVDA actually rolling over a little bit. Yeah, interesting. Tesla was trading quite well above its opening range high as well. Yep, Tesla. Bruce, are you using any edge for algo? I think we're using some before. So which ones? Yeah, so I use the opening range, the orb algo on the DAX and NQ. That's the algos that I'm using per se. Yes, sir. But I'm not using it on any prop firms or anything like that. I'm using it on my own personal cash account.
Give me 1 second while I'm just looking for something.
Yeah, all good, bro. All good. So YM, as I said, reached its previous day's highs. This is also where we fell off from on Friday. So it's going to be interesting. This is also previous week's VWAP too. So yeah, I'm making money with it. So I'm happy, more than happy, right? Obviously, you got to do, everyone's algo will be different. Like when people ask for, how's your algo doing? Mine will be different to Andre. Andre might spend more time optimizing his. So his might be a little bit better. He's trading personal cash on them as well. So everyone's algos will be different, right? Others will be using prop firm accounts. But I like it, especially when I can't dedicate. Like in February, I couldn't really trade as much. I was on the road traveling, and you got the algo that's operating for you, right? Which is really nice.
Yep. Just give me a second while I want to show you guys the ES orb algo, and I also want to show you guys the analyzer for a second. So
sure. Yeah, so we're still holding up here though. Look at NQ and that. We're still holding up off that New York session VWAP. So we keep on pinning it. That's actually a nice entry at 702, but a little bit too quick for me on that. Again, it's Monday. I'm not going to look to be unnecessarily aggressive, right?
I'll pull it up in just a second, but I just want to show you guys. So this is the ES orb, the performance from October to now. Honestly, this has been the most, and it also took a winner today, but this has been the most consistent of any of the algos that I've seen. It's a scalping strategy. There was a larger drawdown for the first 2 weeks, or like the last week of December into January. But the win rate has been amazing because it's looking for a smaller move on ES. So if you guys are in the algo plan, if you reach out to our support and you ask for the settings on, Demi, I was just about to say, ask for the settings in the chat. These are not even optimized settings, just so you know. But in our support, we'll send you an explainer video on what the settings are, and I'm gonna pull up the optimizer to help you like optimize this very quickly and easily after that. But yeah, this is the 5-minute ES orb that I was just saying. It has been unbelievably consistent. I actually think that this is probably one of the better types of strategies for prop firms because you're not looking for such a big move and it's more of a scalping strategy. So it's been on a pretty insane run recently. Like even if you look at some of the consecutive losing trades, like it's just not very likely. And this is not optimized at all. There's 3 consecutive losers here, 3 consecutive losers here, another 3. And by the way, there's no like holy grail. I want to make that really clear. These are all customizable and we will always make them customizable. We'll give you templates on how how you can like give you a good foundation to start, because if you change this to a 30-minute orb on YM, the performance might be terrible. But for you to find this is usually pretty hard. That's where we come in to give you a template. And just so you know, for anyone else who's in the algo plan, we are going to release an algo templates section in the algo section of the site, and it'll give you the foundations. So for example, like this, it'll be ES 5-minute, whatever else, and it'll give you the details. And it's not going to be optimized, but it's going to give you that right foundation. Like we have an IB algo on GC. If you guys actually want a breakdown of the IB GC algo, if you go to edgeful.com, up top here, free resources, you click on that. You're going to go right over here, free IB algo course. Beautiful, Mark. Actually, what I would recommend, go right here. Anyone who's watching, this is completely free. IBGC algo, click get the algo settings and get the settings here. But we are going to be releasing a algo templates, so you guys can say, okay, I like to trade ES. I like this type of win rate. I like this type of whatever. And then you'll go in and we give you the right foundation, which then you can go and optimize further after that yourself. We will never give you a holy grail. We are not trying to give you signals. We want to give you a foundation that you can use to actually like put yourself in a winning position. There is no holy grail, no matter what anyone says. If that upsets you, I'm sorry, but it's the truth. I'm just going to pull up your screen again for a second.
Yeah. Just watching indexes reaching new highs here, DAX even, NQ. So someone was asking about the DAX. Yeah, I trade the opening range with the DAX in the London session. But again, most of my trading is done in New York. If there's something I like on the DAX, then yes, I'll have a look at it. But I can't be looking at charts all day, every single day. I think that's what tired me out last year. So but yeah, we are NQ. I would say could the previous day's highs would be that's where the targets would be lying on there. André got a great entry price.
Yeah, after I show you guys this, I'm gonna give my comments.
Yeah, so I'm just watching here. NQ pulling back a bit. I'm going to try a small long here on NQ at this level here, off the opening range high. I'll have my stop underneath and targeting back up towards those highs. So I'm going to try a long here on NQ.
Is it because it's closer to the orb high?
Yeah, we're coming off the orb high, yeah. So that's my reasoning for the long. And above, we've been respecting the VWAP all morning, right? So in at 725, 727. Tesla as well. Tesla is looking really, really bullish too. So, and the video. So Mag 7 stocks are all green. Wow, Meta's up 3%, bro.
Good. Thankfully.
There must have been some. Oh, there was yeah, dividends.
What is it?
There was dividends.
Oh, dude. You know, Mark Zuckerberg just made $170 million from his dividend.
Oh, wow.
Did you know that?
No.
Dude, that guy makes $170 million a quarter from his dividend.
Jeez.
That's crazy.
That's nuts, dude.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, I mean,
nuts.
On these days like today, it's not a day to be looking to fade, bro, in my opinion. Even if I take a loss on a trade like this, I'd rather be trying to trade in the direction that markets are trending than trying to call a top here at the high.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be nice. Yeah, jeez.
$170 million. He just broke the record for some home purchase in Florida. I don't know where
really?
it was. Dude, his house is insane.
Yeah, well, you can do a lot
but it
of
was
things.
$170 million, the house, I think, or something like absolutely insane, like something like ridiculous. But I'm like, dude, this guy's going to make that in the next quarter from his dividend.
Yeah. And you can pay for it in cash.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So yeah, there's that. But
so NVIDIA also respecting the New York session view apps. Yeah, we're bouncing on NVIDIA as well. That should give NQ some steam to move to the high side as well. If we hold at this level here and move higher back to opening range high, and NVIDIA opening range high will be back at 185. Yeah, so I like watching the stocks with the indexes. I just think it gives me a good basis for where we're heading on each and every single day. Yeah, so if we can hold that, should definitely get a lift up on NQ, that's for sure. Yes, as well, above 720 now too. You got out at 719, so it's trading even higher now above Andre's price. It did come back to 719 and then worked off of there. What's the Dow doing? Dow's already hit those previous days' highs.
all right.
Yeah.
We
do 13 more minutes, but we have the RB set, and we'll get some more information in terms of the screener. But everything's pointing higher right now.
Okay. So I'm going to give you guys some secret sauce here for being on the stream today. And I just unshared my screen, so give me a second. All right. So I just widened the max loss on this just to show you the example. The prior max loss that I had the prior P&L that I had was 9,000 something, but I widened the max loss to an area that was like way further than it needed to be, just to show you guys. So what I'm doing here is I download this data from here, from the TradingView backtest, and then now I upload it to edgeful, right? And now here I have some stats. This is the summary. This is the profit, the win rate, the profit factor, whatever else, right? Here's my equity curve. Now I get, I'm just going to go through each of the sections. Now I get a P&L breakdown by month. So you can see in since October, all these months have been green. January was actually red, minus $1,000. You can look at a weekly view. Not super important, this, in my opinion. But now you get your average winners, your best winner, your single biggest trade, your average losing trade, and your single biggest losing trade here. What is your average win streak? What is your maximum win streak? Average losing streak, max losing streak. So quickly, you get a little bit of information on what's going on here as it relates to winners and losers. Sure. Now, strategy health. This is another important piece here. It'll tell you if your strategy is, to be clear, there's no defining metric for if something is overfit or not, but this is going to help you identify if it is or not, just so you know. So the win rate is consistent. The profits are spread across a lot of trades. That's very important. So you're going to see each of these. And obviously, depending on the file that you upload, all these are going to change. Scrolling down. Now, all that Excel that I'm sure a lot of you are miserable doing, where you look at the weekdays, is done automatically for you right here. So you don't have to do any Excel anymore. If you're in the algo plan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And you can see what is my net P&L on Fridays short. It's actually negative $2,000. If the strategy does not perform well, Friday's short. Thursday's long, does not perform well. There's 6 trades, they're losers, a 50% win rate. 10 trades, Friday short, 50% win rate, net negative P&L. So you want to go through and remove these days from the back test, right? 10 trades is a lot of trades in a 3 or 4 month period. Now, the Excel that I was talking about, you guys are familiar with, I'm sure, this section here. You have the weekdays, you have the long and short, you have the net P&L, and now you know exactly what weekdays do well. I added these columns here. So the winners and losers, the win rate, the number of trades by weekday, by direction. So there's zero Excel. You literally just download and upload this file to Edgeful. It'll be in the algo section. It'll be specifically in here, right over here. It'll be called Algo Analyzer. You're going to see right over here. You literally have to do zero work. You just click the download button right here, and then you just re-upload that exact file. Don't touch it. Don't change anything. Stick it in here, and you're going to get all this data. Now, the drawdown analysis, this is so important. It will tell you what your, for the strategies that have a max loss, it's going to tell you where the most optimal max loss is. So you can see here, the suggested max loss is at $800. Closing trades at this level would improve your P&L by $1,950. 100% of trades beyond this point are losers.
Wow.
So why would you let a trade continue past $800 drawdown if you know that every single time it's continued past it, it's been a loser? Doesn't make sense. So right here, you want to cut the trade off. Then entries by time of day. I know a lot of people have been asking about this for the IB, for these other strategies that might enter a little bit later in the day. You're going to get entries by time of day here. And then here's the trade log. And then below this are all the settings. Now, you are also going to get two other categories up top. Yeah, so powerful. Thank you. I've spent a lot of time and energy building this out to not have you guys learn Excel and try to give you guys a very easy way to take any strategy. It doesn't have to be an Edgeful algo. It can be any strategy. You plug it into this, immediately you get all the important information you need, the stuff that's actually relevant, not the, like, you don't need it. You don't need to, you don't need to waste time doing anything else. Now the Monte Carlo. So the way that this works, it is a simulation of 1,000 different paths that this strategy could have taken. What that means is it reshuffles the order of the trades in the back test. So all of these trades, it puts it in a different order. It removes some trades, it duplicates other trades. It's resimulating what could have happened in the bounds of the strategy that you're looking at. And the sequence is actually really important because you can see that some of them with this back test, with this period, with this equity curve, some of these trades actually end up performing. Some of these trades, some of these results, some of the simulations actually are very negative, right? So you can see down here, this is minus 6K. Up here is plus 17K. So your actual result, this is from the back test right over here, was this. The median result, so the middle was this. So your actual result is pretty close to the median. Usually this will be the case. But what you can also see is the worst 5% of all the 1,000 back tests, the 1,000 simulations returned. So even in the worst 5% of scenarios, you still end up profitable, but at only $300. The best 5%, so this is the top that you can expect out of 1,000 simulations, is 15,000. So you pretty much doubling the returns that you actually got. So this is the ceiling. That's what it says right here. What it also says is 96% of the simulations are profitable in this period. So you're looking from October 15 to today. Really, really, really important to understand is did your equity curve get lucky because of a few big winning days, or is it actually a strong strategy? Going down, final P&L distribution. So you can see right over here, if you hover on it, 69 out of 1,000 simulations ended with a P&L between 12,500 and 14,000. If you go over here, 12 simulations out of 1,000 ended between here and here. Again, You don't have to do a single thing except download the file from TradingView and upload it into Edgeful. You don't have to do anything. All this is automatically done for you. Going down, you can see what is the likelihood of a specific drawdown. So when you're trading with a prop firm, this is very important for you to know, obviously. So if you click on $1,000, like if your drawdown is $1,000, this is very high risk. 99.8 chance of hitting a $1,000 drawdown. You don't want, it's obviously too high. So going to $5,000 of drawdown, 14.7% chance. It's not up and running yet. It will be very soon. We're just cleaning it up. So there are these, we're cleaning up the text. We're cleaning up like the font size, like all that. We need to make sure it's consistent. How likely is a drawdown of $5,000? 14.7% chance of hitting $5,000 drawdown. $10,000, very, very low, right? Low risk. We have an FAQ down here because I know that there will be questions. And I think this next piece is going to be the one you guys are most excited about. And it's the prop firm simulation. So let me preface for a second that the results in this version that I'm showing you are not the final results, or they're not the final calculations. There are still some things we needed to work out with like the trailing drawdown and how that works and how it like stops certain days from trade. Just keep this in mind that these numbers are not finalized yet. Just keep that in mind. But this is a prop firm simulator. So you plug the strategy in, and based on all the simulations, you get to see, for example, if you go to a Tradify account, you're going to see the 50K account, 60% of these are going to pass. If you go to the 100K account, with these settings that you have, how many of these are going to pass the eval? You can see 150K account, whatever else, you're going to see it. You can go to these different prop firms. If you go to a Lucid account, we have the Flex and Pro accounts. You can see the percentages of how often these 1,000 simulations pass the evals. So you can see likely to pass, 65% of the simulations pass. The pass rate is here. This is so important. This is so important. The average trades to pass. Look at this. 52.
Wow.
You guys want to pass in 3 or 4 days. 52 is the average number of trades to pass the 100K account. The fastest pass is 15 trades. So for all of you guys who want to pass these accounts like this over and over again, please be careful, because it's not as realistic as you think. Now, 52 is definitely a lot. It depends on like if you go to the Apex accounts, 22 trades to pass. They're all very different. If you go to the Tradify accounts, again, 22 here, 52 here. Like there's a lot of things that change. Now, granted, again, these are not the final numbers, but this is the idea. I'm trying to show you the idea.
Sure. I did close 75 of my position off at 750, 55. So about 35 points.
Beautiful.
Yeah, as it's just chopping around.
So good question on the starting balance. We don't have the starting balance in here. It's just based on P&L, but you can we're going to build out the ability to select the starting balance. We're trying to make it as easy as possible. So it just goes straight based on P&L. So you can theoretically put, like in your mind, put whatever starting balance you want, and then it'll either go plus that or minus that. But we don't want to have any, we want to limit the number of inputs from the user side for now. But yeah. So again, by the way, the paths here, this is just for the visual. It does actually simulate 1,000 times, but this is just changing like how many of the lines appear. But these are the real simulation lines. And this is another really cool thing that I was excited about. How many of the simulations survive after a certain number of trades? So you can see that after 30 trades, only 15% of the accounts are still running. So I think this is really going to help people reshift how they think about prop firms and like understand what the real expectations are versus like what they honestly see on Twitter or on Instagram or wherever else. We have FAQ down here again, but I'm curious what you guys think. I mean, obviously the comments here are positive. Is this level of analysis only for algo subscribers? Yeah, so this will be in the algo plan. It will be in here for the algo users. It'll be in here this week for sure, just so everyone knows. And you don't need to upload an edgeful strategy to this. You can upload any strategy to this, just so you guys know. Obviously, it's tailored to ours with the weekdays and everything else. Like not all strategies have the weekdays and everything else, but you can upload any type of strategy in here. It doesn't matter. And you can use it to, you can also, just so you know, you can customize what you actually want to appear. So if you don't care about this P&L breakdown, you can actually remove that. If you don't care about the whatever, the equity curve, you can remove that and you can customize what you want to appear. I just wanted to show you guys this because I know one of the biggest pain points for algo users was the whole Excel thing. And we've completely eliminated that. And then now you can just upload like back to back all these strategies right into here, and you just kind of get exactly what you need from here. But yeah.
Simple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, NQ back at the New York session view up. So I got stopped out on my remainder, but yeah, I think it was a good exit, good trade.
Oh, I'm surprised it didn't make a move higher, to be honest.
Yeah, so that was my exit here. Let's just get that up there while André was speaking. So I got 75% of my position out on that wick there, and then I got stopped out on the rest. But I still think it moves higher, bro. This is just a pullback, which I know can happen in these choppier days. But NVIDIA dropped down as well, now bouncing again. So that could also be a reason for the pullback. And NVIDIA is still holding up, so I wouldn't just get short like right now. Yeah, still holding there, so like that. Put that in my daily report card at the end of the day. YM also having a little bit of a pullback. Back at the opening range high and New York session VWAP. Are you switching to the RB? I'll still use the orb, but I will look at the RB, like the stats after the first hour for sure. Which we are still maintaining a bullish bias, right? That should that should set in now.
Mark, we will definitely keep those Excel videos up. And just one thing that I want to show while James was showing that was I just went through and I didn't even remove the Tuesdays long. I just removed the Friday short and Thursdays long, and pretty much added $5,000. And then, I also optimize the max loss here using this suggestion. And then now the equity curve has been like instantly optimized. And I like literally in a matter of like 5 minutes, you can, the only really key thing that you have to do is find the initial structure that you want to put into the analyzer. That's really the initial thing. That's like the biggest lift is you can't put some like completely trash strategy into it and then be like, oh, make it work. Obviously, like you need to give it something that actually works to an extent, and then it will kind of pick out what works, what doesn't, what weekdays work, and everything else. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this because it's extremely powerful and it's going to save everyone a lot of time in terms of just back testing and all the other stuff that doing Excel. Like I know a lot of people don't like using Excel. Mark, it seems like you do, which I'm very happy about. I also love to use Excel, but I think we're some of the few. Yeah. I'll pull up your screen again, James.
Yeah, I'm just watching for potential. This could be still a nice level to buy from personally, but let's see. Yeah, just watching this at the moment. Yes. Yeah, this is where we rallied, but this is where you kind of got your long as well, Andre.
Yeah.
Yeah. So still watching there because NVIDIA is still holding up as well. Let's have a look at ES. ES still holding up too. I mean, it's not like we're flushing like new low of day or anything like that,
Yeah.
like we were on Friday. So yeah, keep that in mind for sure.
So just so everyone knows, the analyzer will be out this week. And anyone who has the algo plan will get access to it, obviously. If you guys are considering, I'm not, to be very clear, I'm not trying to sell you guys in the algo plan right now. It doesn't matter to me. I don't want to pressure anyone to do it. But try it. Just try it. Because I think a lot of people, what happens is they will spend so much money on evals because they're like, I need to have an eval in order to trade. But the problem is that you're not trading the right strategies. So instead of spending $1,000 a month on evals, take $300, put it towards an algo, trade a strategy that you actually know the performance of, and then maybe those evals will actually pay you back. But if you just keep buying eval after eval and you're not changing anything, it's going to be really difficult to get out of that rut.
You're trading. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm honestly pretty surprised, honestly, about here. I'll pull up my screen again. I am pretty surprised, honestly, that price didn't get a little bit higher here. It was only not even 10 points away on ES, and I'm not super confident it's going to make a reversal at this point.
Yeah, that's why I'm just watching for potential long as well, like my side.
I'm going to put on the IB now.
You've been looking at more at the IB since trading with Zinc a bit.
Dude, the IB has been Zinc made it popular, but dude, the IB's been great for a long time.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember the first time I got on a call with him. I don't know if he's watching now, but I remember the first time I got on a call with him, I was like, here's the IB, here's the data. And he was like, and then later we actually got on the phone again after, and he was like, dude, it all just clicked. He's like, it just clicked. Like,
yeah, it's simple too.
Yeah. And it sets up every day. But yeah. The only issue here, so the IB is pointing long for sure, but I don't really love that this, I'm not a trend guy, I'm not a trend line guy, but I'm not a huge fan of this.
Yeah, it's
I don't really like trend lines, but like when you see one like this, it's pretty clear.
Yeah, it has just been wedging a little bit. That's why I think I was a little bit more aggressive on that profit taking.
Yeah. Mike, you said Andre took a 9-point profit. Yeah, so my personal trading style is I would rather go for a smaller move than try to go. So I know a lot of people that will hold an NQ trade for 150 points. I think I've probably done that a handful of times. And I have no shame in saying that. People are like, will brag about, I hold for 200-point moves. I caught a 300-point move, like whatever else. Like I have no desire to be in that camp.
Sure.
Because those days come around so rarely that when you're going for a move like that, trying to hold and hold and hold on the days where it reverses against you, like you're going to get torched so many times that I would rather go for a move on NQ that's 40 to 60 points, which happens, I mean,
yeah,
55.1 minute candle right here.
Yeah.
Right here, 55.1 minute candle. Here, another one. Let's 30.1 minute candle. Like you can get 40, 50 points easily on NQ. Like it's not that crazy. And the same thing goes for your stop loss also. Like if you're going to have a 10-point stop, I mean, good luck. It's really tough. But I would rather go for a move that I know is much more predictable. I don't have the ego to say I'm going to hold for a 200-point move or a 120-point move on ES. Like people have this like psychological attachment to, well, I have to hold until it hits 100 points. If I'm at 80 points now, it's only 20 more points. Like, yes, I understand the logic of maximizing your winners and everything else, but I don't like to do that. It's not my trading style. I'd rather be in and out. I don't want to worry about it. I don't want to think about it. There's a 9-point winner right here. Price didn't continue. If I was looking for a bigger move, I'd be pretty upset. But that doesn't mean that the bigger move is not going to come. A lot of the times, most of the time, I leave a lot of money on the table too. Like if it continues to previous day's high, which in my mind, it definitely should, or it should have, because of the data on the what's in play is pointing to inside bars today should break out. Now, this is probably on the higher end, but I mean, the inside bar stat's very, very strong right now, 88%. That's very strong. So I want to expect something to happen here. Now, I would be extremely surprised if it would be to the downside. I'm not expecting it at all. Maybe today's just not going to break, but I'm okay leaving money on the table. And that's something that you really have to be okay with. Because if you're going to be the type of trader that's going to take this trade at this TP, right? And then you see it makes a new high, and then now you get long up here and you give back all the profits because you're like, well, I want to capture the whole move. You're going to have a pretty big issue.
Yeah.
So I know my trading style. I do not like to go for these giant moves. I think most people don't like it, to be honest, but I would rather just use bigger size on a smaller move.
It's more consistent too. It's easier to catch 50 points in Easter.
It's so much easier to catch a 50-point move. Like even here, like a break and retest of the midpoint of the IB or the break and retest of the midpoint of the orb. I mean, like the data is showing bullish right now, but the price action is like not really bullish. But even if you're going to go based on, where is the orb? Where's my orb? Well, the orb, midpoint of the orb, it's actually kind of crazy. Touch the midpoint of the orb, retest it to the midpoint of the IB, and then flush down. But this is a very good setup here. Like, and in this case, and now we're talking in hindsight. I'm not going to pretend that I would have taken this trade. I did not take this trade. We're talking in hindsight for a second. But with a 30-point stop targeting the IB low here, now it's a 60-point move. I probably realistically would take it off probably a little bit before. But this is a great trade, and a 60-point move on NQ is not crazy. That's what I like. I like something that's not crazy. I'm not looking to make a ton of money in one day. I'm looking to have consistent winners over time.
Yeah. There was something I wanted to mention as well. It's mine now, but yeah, the screener is still pointing bullish.
Zink just commented, IB, don't let me down.
Let me down. There you go.
Yeah, the pivot. I actually like the pivot point report. The only thing about the pivot point report is
how would you use the pivot point for like entries?
So the way that it works,
I haven't actually looked at that one.
The way that it works actually is, one sec. You have to use the pivot points by session if you're going to do this on futures. You cannot use the pivot points regular indicator. The reason, or you can, if you're looking at the daily time frame. But the reason, what's up?
I'm long NQ again. I'm trying a long here from this level. 650.
Stop a low of day or
stop a low of day underneath daily VWAP. So 600 in at 650, stop at 600.
Zinc, I'm right there with you. He said opening candle continuation green, low gap fill odds, inside bar stat to the upside, all lining up. I agree. I don't have an entry here.
Yeah, someone was asking about the opening candle continuation. That was what I wanted to ask. Yeah,
oh, yeah. What's up?
So basically, if the first, we can go to the report, Andre. Sorry, then you can.
No, you're good. You're good.
Good. So basically, if you go to reports over here, okay, and we go to the opening candle continuation report. Now you usually use the first hour. So if that first hour is bullish, how often do we close as a bullish closing day? We can have a look at ES. In the last 6 months, 75% for long, 79% for short. So basically, you'll be wanting to trade in that direction, essentially. It doesn't mean just get long after the first hour or short after the first hour. That's why I use opening range and VWAPs, but that's what it will give you, right? So a directional bias. Yep. Okay, we'll get your screen up now, Andre. Let me know when.
You're good.
There you go.
So the reason are you talking about this indicator? Psychologist to trader? The trading view indicator? Mine's green. The opening candle continuation indicator here is green.
Yeah.
But just to jump to this quickly, let me actually go back to the reports. When you go to the pivot point report,
make sure your settings are correct as well. You got to make sure your settings on the indicator are correct.
Yeah. You can just do reset settings, I'm sure, and it'll just go back to the correct ones.
The default, yeah.
You do reset settings, it'll correct everything. But going to, wow, we need to change the way this looks. The edgeful opening candle continuation is red. Where are you seeing that? For what ticker are you looking at?
Yeah.
Because you can see, if you go to the screener, you can see the opening candle continuation on a bunch of different tickers. So if you're looking at Microsoft or Meta or Broadcom, it will be red, but all of the other, everything else in here is green. Wow. Is there a catalyst, by the way, that's going on right now? I know financial juice is like probably worthless at this point because every time, James, that there's a
yeah,
every time there's a catalyst, it's not coming up here, but yeah, I don't know.
Let's have a look.
I don't know, Zinc, if you're still watching, what's that guy's name on Twitter that you were talking about?
Walter Bloomberg.
Yeah.
Walter Bloomberg.
How's that guy's account doing right now?
Jeez, he tweets so often, dude.
Walter Bloomberg.
Sorry, you're right. I had the market session over top look red. Yeah. So
no, you're good. So talking about the pivot points for a second.
Yeah.
We need to change the way this looks, but so what are the odds that I'd be failing today? Got to be sub 10% again. Yeah, I'm going to ask Edgeful AI in a second after I go over this pivot point thing, Zinc. But so the way that this works is this report, when you're looking at the New York session here, the very important piece is that the pivot points are going to be, appreciate you, man, have a good one. The pivot points are going to be different based on the session you select. So the way the pivot points work is they're calculated by the high, low, and close of the previous day. So if you're using different high, low, and close values from the London session or daily session or whatever else, the calculation is going to change. So that's why you have to use the by session indicator if you're using the report on futures. Now, the way this report works is that it allows you to filter specific days that open between specific pivots. So today, open between pivot and R1. So if you open between pivot and R1, what is the likelihood that we touch each of the levels? 60% of the time, we touch R1, which was touched, obviously. And then 67% of the time, we have touched the pivot, which is right over here, which is technically bearish. FYI. But this report will filter, because you can't compare a day that you can't check how often price touches something if it opens in a different zone. If price opens up here between R2 and R3, you can't compare that to a day that opens between pivot and R1, obviously. So the way that we have it is that you have to select a specific opening range, and then based on that, you can see how often price touches each of the levels, and then we need to update this too. This is how often price closes between each of these levels. So we need to update this as well. I need to actually screenshot that and change that. All right. So what I'm going to do now is go back, and the IB failed us, unfortunately, Zinc. And what I can do here is I can say on N, I'm looking at NQ right now. How often did the IB low form first? And there was a green opening candle.
We're respecting opening range low and the daily session VWAP at the moment, overnight VWAP on NQ. So these are my longs. Sorry, just while Andrew does that.
Grab it.
This is my long here. I'm trying, I was expecting a little bit of a pullback. So we got the pullback now into the lows. I'm looking to take this back up to opening range high. So I'm in at 650. I'm looking to target back up to 700 basically. I really like this because we're trading obviously very bullish price action structure. The edgeful data is telling me I still need to stay long biased. And now we've got a deeper pullback. I've got a now stop underneath the daily VWAP. I'm just going to look to target the highs. If we don't get it, so be it. But I don't want to fade this momentum. Look on the right-hand side here as well. NVIDIA's up, Tesla's up, Meta's up. So there's not one Mag 7 stock that's red. So if I take a loss, it is what it is. But I like the longs.
Zinc doesn't seem to be thrilled here.
Yeah, the RB a bit of a tough one today.
Yeah.
Sorry, Zinc.
So I'm asking here, edgeful AI. Ugh. Why did this not work?
Zinc said he got slippage on the wick too.
Zinc, is that from SPY to ES? James, you're still in the longs, right?
Yeah, I'm still long. We're wicking opening range low, so I really do like it. So I'm still long here. So
I mean, for anyone who's selling options like that on this pullback right now, selling put spreads does not sound terrible.
Like underneath low of day. And
yeah, exactly. Like if you sell options down here, I mean, it's pretty far. Your premiums are probably going to suck, honestly. But selling options down here below 6,600, and if I go to SPY, that would be like 665 probably. Put spreads here. The thing is, when I take a trade, so here, one sec. So if I'm selling options, for me, I'm definitely waiting. I mean, this is obviously like my trading style, but I'm waiting for some type of move in the direction of the options or the strike that I want to sell. So if I want to sell put spreads, I'm not going to sell, or I'll go to a 5-minute time frame. I'm not going to sell put spreads at the high of day because the premiums have lost all of their value at the high of day. And then as price pulls back, that's where I will look to sell the put spreads because now the premiums have been juiced, and then I'll capture the juice premiums, sell them there, and then hope that there's either a bounce or consolidation. Exact same thing that I was doing on ES this morning, where I'll go to a 1 minute quickly. Like the idea here is like, I'm not going to get long here. I'm going to wait for the pullback to the orb high, wait for the orb high, and then expect to move higher. So low formed first plus green open. The first break, this happened 21% of the time. Zinc. So low form first plus green open, 21%. Yeah, it's this is in the last 6 months on NQ specifically. So unfortunate, I would to say the least.
Yeah, I think I'm in a good price here on NQ, bro. I had a nice 5-minute close. Yeah, 650.
Oh wow, that is good. That's solid. So, do you want to show your trade quick?
Yeah. So I'm in here. We just had the 5-minute closure, and we wicked.
While you do that, I'm going to get another coffee quick.
Yeah, and we wicked opening range low. So that day, this is the daily view app as well. That black line coming across my screen. We wicked that as well as the opening range low. So I really like the move back up to the highs. So let's see what we do get. NVDA and Tesla starting to pick up a little bit as well. So as long as we hold this this level here, like 640, call it. I really like the longs. We can go down to a lower time frame as well, but we had a great 5-minute close, which keeps me super interested in the longs. And then YM as well coming back up. So YM getting green 2 now off of those lows. So I really like it. And then ES back up, almost back up to opening range high as well, which is 711. So I think I'm in a good trade. Yeah, I really like it. I just want to try and hold and see if it can get back up to at least like 700. I'll start trimming from there. That's my plan on this trade. Again, the reason why I took these longs is I'm long bias on the day. We've got to pull back at a great level, and the edgeful screener also telling me to stay long biased, right? So let's go to the screener. Can have a look at that. Let it load. We're still mainly bullish on the screener as well. So yeah, I took the same. They got stopped on the spark down. Yeah, the spark was I got in after. Yeah, I wasn't during that spark. Yeah, but I think I had a good stop on it as well, which kept me in the game. But we're looking good, yeah, guys. YM as I said, YM and ES are picking up too. So that's a trade I've got running at the minute. What charts do you have up, James? Are you the stocks and what time frame charts? Yeah, so I've always got I've got quite a broad basket of stuff on my list here. I've got like stocks in play, but the stock what I always look at every single day is obviously DAX, ES, NQ, YM. So my 4 indexes, and then I got the USA Mag 7 stocks over here. I just like to look at and see what the stocks are doing relative to the indexes, because obviously they're going to obviously alter how the indexes move. And because NVIDIA and Tesla are bullish on the day, I don't just be like, oh, let's start selling down here. I think this is a great buying price back up towards half day. There we go. We're getting a great move here at the minute. I really like it. We've just cut through the New York session VWAP. So that's from the 9:30 a.m. open. So anchored to the open. And now if we can continue moving higher on that, we'll get back up to that opening range high. I'll take full out here. So I'm going to close 50%.
Wow, dude, this is a crazy move.
I'm closed 50% here. So I'm going to cover some profits here. I'm up like 40 points on the trade. I'm going to see if I can hold until the opening range high and potentially half day on a little bit of a runner. Runners haven't been working too well in this market environment, but everything is picking up again on this trade. NVDA is now cutting through that New York session VWAP 2, and hopefully we get a move back up to the highs. I'd really like that. So yeah, that's my trade at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, what a sniper entry, to be honest.
Yeah, well, YM and ES are picking up a little bit more than NQ, but yeah, it's a great. As I said, like I was just explaining to the guys, to the viewers, like you don't just want to be like, oh well, like on Friday, yes, I saw everything was flushing lower and we were bearish on the week, so that's why I did flip the position. But over here, we still hold opening range low, so it's not like we just all of a sudden just changing bias immediately. We're still bullish market open. Also, the data on Friday was telling us to be short bias after the first hour on whereas today it's telling us keep the longs, right?
Wow, what I was just about to say. I was looking at this comment here, especially off that daily VWAP. Dude, this is like crazy off the daily VWAP. That was like a perfect bounce.
Yeah, it was literally almost to the point on NQ.
Yeah.
Yeah, the daily VWAP. So what Mark is mentioning is this black line on my screen. That's the overnight or daily VWAP. Call it overnight. Daily VWAP. That's what I refer to it as.
Yeah, the daily VWAP, just so everyone knows, is just the continuous. It considers all the candles. It's just the continuous VWAP.
Yep.
But yeah, what a day.
Yeah, now if we can just hold this luck level, now I'm not surprised we're getting a little bit of a move back because that hit the New York session VWAP. But if we can hold here and move, I think we move higher to that opening range high, which is back up at 720, call it.
Yeah. Also,
ES
just tag the orb high too on ES. Which is
on
exactly
ES, as well as YM. So, but they're looking very bullish, bro. Like this is not a day to come and fade the edgeful data.
No, you can't. Sure. You can't.
I struggle when I do that, bro, personally.
Dude, the thing is that like everyone's like, well, today's different, and it's like, yeah, it might be, but like, how often are you going to be right over the data? Like, yeah, you might be right one day, or you might be wrong one day, and over the course of the next 3 months, are you going to keep fighting the data? Like, I mean, by the way, I'm not saying that like. There are days where I'm like, nah, all the data is pointing long, and I have a short bias. It's happened to me.
Yeah.
Didn't that happen the other day?
Happened to me on Friday, although it was before the first hour it said, but yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, you fight the data. Like, yeah, you might be right once, you might be right twice. It's the same concept as when you oversize.
And you get lucky and win a trade.
Yes, dude. Yes.
And then you're like, oh, well, I can oversize on every trade, and then you get smoked in
yes, you're like, oh, I'm a genius now. I used 3 times the size that I normally do.
Leverage,
Exactly. And then you take a giant loser, you take a giant winner, and you're like, oh my God, like I can size up now. Like this is so great. I could read the markets and everything else. And then like the next few trades, like you torch your account because you got lucky one time. It's actually really, really bad to break your rules and win.
Yeah, because it reinforces like you can just do it and win. Yeah.
Exactly. So, all right, I think we're good to wrap it up here.
Oh yeah, Jesus.
I'm sure James, you'll post updates on your Twitter or whatever else.
Updates. I'll put in the Discord chat as well. But I do like the longs for continuation today.
Yeah.
That's
for anyone watching, please guys subscribe to wherever you're watching. If you're watching on Twitter, you're watching somewhere else, please subscribe and follow, whatever else. Share it if you like the streams. But
I'll just answer one more question here. For some reason, my futures charts are 10 minutes delayed. You have to pay for the pricing. That's why they are delayed. So
Yeah.
if you want the real-time data, you got to use that. You got to pay for the CME data. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Perfect,
So
guys.
there's.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that there is a yellow D at the top left of your trading view chart. If you click on that, you'll be able to buy the data through that path.
Yeah, sure. Perfect, guys. Have a good rest of the trading day. We'll see you guys all on rest of the week. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.